What if I told you that somewhere between getting out of bed this morning and taking your next step tonight, your body may fail to use one small reflex that can be the difference between staying upright and slamming into the floor? I am not saying that to rattle you for drama. I am saying it because most adults over 70 are never taught this truth in plain language. They are told to be careful. They are told to slow down. They are told to hold the railing. But almost nobody explains that the body has a built-in rescue response in the feet and toes, and when that response gets weak, one careless little wobble can turn into a nasty fall, a cracked hip, a hospital visit, and a life that suddenly feels smaller. That is the brutal part. The hopeful part is this. You can start waking that reflex back up in less time than it takes to heat up a cup of tea, just a couple of minutes at a time. No fancy gym, no giant machine, no exhausting workout, just smart, simple practice done over and over until your body remembers what it used to know. So if falling has been whispering in the back of your mind, if you catch yourself reaching for walls, if you feel nervous walking to the bathroom at night, stepping out to get the mail, or even turning too fast in the kitchen, stay with me. This could change the way you move, the way you feel, and the way you trust your own body. In this video, we are going to walk through 6 powerful balance moves that help stop falls before they happen, why they work better than the usual boring advice, and exactly how to do them safely in your own home starting today. And before we go 1 inch further, if you have not subscribed yet, this is your moment. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the kind of health tips that can keep you stronger, safer, and more independent. If this video helps you, type 1 in the comments. If you think I should explain things better, type 0. I read the comments, I mean that, and I use them to sharpen every video for you. Now let me ask you something. When people decide they want better balance, what do they usually do? They stand on one leg for a few seconds, shake all over the place, grab the counter, laugh it off, and say, well, I tried. Maybe you have done that too. The trouble is that standing still on one leg does not prepare you for the messy way real falls happen. Falls do not usually happen when you are frozen like a statue. Falls happen when life gets moving. They happen when your slipper catches the edge of a rug. They happen when you step off a curb and the ground is lower than you thought. They happen when you twist to reach for something and your weight slides just a little too far. They happen in those sneaky little moments when your body has to react fast and does not. So if you really want to lower your chance of falling, your training has to teach your body how to save itself in motion. It has to train the instant your balance starts slipping, the tiny flash when your body must feel the danger, switch on the right muscles, and drag you back to safety before you crash. That is the mission. That is the game. And every exercise I'm about to give you is built around that mission. Before we start, I need to say this clearly. If any of these moves causes pain in your feet, ankles, knees, hips, back, or anywhere else, stop right away. Do not try to be tough. Do not push through it. Work inside the range that feels safe and steady for your body. If you have concerns about your balance, have had a recent fall, or live with a medical issue that affects your movement, talk with your doctor or physical therapist before trying new exercises. And every time you practice, keep a wall, sturdy chair, or countertop close enough to grab if you need it. Now let us get to the heart of why this matters so much, because once you understand this, you will never think about balance the same way again. One of the most overlooked parts of fall prevention lives way down at the bottom of your body, right where most people never think to look, your feet. More specifically, your toes and the small muscles packed inside your feet. When your body starts tipping forward or drifting too far in any direction, those muscles are supposed to fire almost like lightning. Your toes are meant to press, grip, and claw into the floor just enough to help pull your body back over its base. That response is part of your natural balance protection. It is not fake. It is not trendy. It is not some internet gimmick. It is a real built-in survival tool. You came into the world with it. But time changes things. As the years pile up, especially when we spend most of our days in soft shoes, on smooth floors, and without ever giving the feet a real challenge, the connection starts going dim. Those little muscles lose strength. The nerves get lazy. The signal between brain and foot slows down, and that automatic save-yourself reflex begins to fade like an old radio station buried in static. The wiring is still there, but the message is weak. Think of it like a lamp that should turn on the second you hit the switch, except now the bulb flickers, buzzes, or does nothing at all. That is what balance can feel like in an aging body. The command is sent, but the response is late. Here is the part I love telling people. This connection can improve. You can train it. You can wake it up. The feet and toes respond faster than many people expect when they are challenged the right way and often enough. Your nervous system has not forgotten forever. It just needs clear reminders. It needs repeated practice that tells it, hey, this still matters. We still need this. Wake up and do your job. That is exactly what these 6 exercises are designed to do. But before we jump in, one more serious safety note because I want progress, not accidents. If you have been diagnosed with a major balance disorder, severe bone loss, Parkinson's disease, serious nerve damage, or any condition that affects your stability, please talk with a licensed professional before trying these movements. If you had a recent fall, especially one that caused injury, do not launch into a new routine until you have medical clearance. Also, never do these moves in slippery socks on a hard floor. That is asking for trouble. Bare feet are often best because they give your brain stronger feedback from the floor. If bare feet are not right for you, wear shoes with a solid non-slip sole. And always have support nearby, not because you expect disaster, but because feeling safer helps your body relax and learn better. All right, let us start with the first move, and in many ways, the star of the whole show. The toe lean. If you only remembered one exercise from this entire video, this would be the one. The toe lean trains that missing rescue reflex directly. To set up, stand in a safety corner where 2 walls meet. Face into the corner so the walls are in front of you at an angle, 1 on each side. If you drift too far forward, the walls are there to help stop you. If you want even more support, place a sturdy chair within easy reach in front of you. Put your feet close together, just a few inches apart, not glued together, just close. Stand tall with your back long, your chin level, and your shoulders loose, not stiff. Now, slowly lean your whole body forward from the ankles like a straight board. Do not bend at the waist. Do not poke your hips back. Keep the body in one line. As you lean, pay attention. You should feel your toes start to press and grip the floor. That is the exact spark we want. Before you lean so far that you must step, let the toes and feet help pull you back to center. That is 1 rep. Do 10 reps in a row. Then come back to it a few times during the day. 3 or 4 mini rounds is plenty. When this starts feeling easy, hold a very light weight against your chest, even 2 or 3 pounds, to make the feet and toes work harder. That extra challenge can speed up the comeback of the reflex. Next comes side-to-side weight shifting, because not every fall throws you forward. Some of the ugliest falls happen sideways. You reach for a cabinet, step around a pet, turn too fast, or shift your body to one side, and suddenly there is trouble. This move trains control in that direction. Stand behind a sturdy chair and rest both hands lightly on the back. Your feet should be about hip width apart. Stand tall. Now slowly shift your body weight onto your right foot and let your left foot float barely off the floor, maybe an inch. Hold that for 3 seconds, then move back to center and shift to the left side so the right foot floats a little. Hold for 3 seconds there too. That is 1 full rep. Do 10 reps to each side. Go slow. This is not a race. You are teaching the ankles, hips, and core to talk to each other without panic. As you improve, use less help from your hands. Maybe go from a full hand to 1 finger. Later, work toward doing it without support. Then we move to the heel-to-toe walk, a move that looks simple until you try it. This one copies the kind of walking that gets people into trouble in real life, especially in narrow spaces or when stepping carefully around clutter. Find a hallway or a clear space next to a wall. If you need support, keep 1 hand near the wall. Place 1 foot directly in front of the other so the heel of the front foot touches or nearly touches the toes of the back foot. Then do it again with the other foot. Heel to toe, like you are walking on a tight little line. Take 10 slow steps forward. Turn carefully and take 10 steps back. That is 1 set. Do 2 sets. And here is the spicy little challenge. Try to keep your eyes looking forward, not down at your feet. In real life, you cannot always stare at the floor like a detective hunting for clues. Your body needs to stay balanced while your eyes are focused ahead. That is why this one matters. It is sneaky, it is frustrating, and it works. Now let us talk about standing marches. So many falls begin with a trip. a rug corner, a curb, a stair lip, a crack in the driveway. In that split second, your body has to lift the foot fast enough and high enough to clear the obstacle. If the hip muscles are weak and the lifting reaction is sluggish, the stumble wins. Standing marches train that lifting power. Stand behind your chair with a light grip on the back. Grow tall through the spine. Slowly lift your right knee towards your chest as high as feels comfortable without leaning backward. Hold it at the top for 2 seconds. Then lower it with control. Do the same on the left side. That is 1 rep. Aim for 10 reps per side, and do not rush the lowering part. The way you bring the foot back down matters just as much as the lift. That lowering phase builds control for the moment your foot returns to the ground in real life. When this gets easier, try it without holding the chair and stretch your arms out a little for balance. Now we come to one of my favorite drills, the clock reach. This one trains your body to handle movement in several directions without falling apart. Think about how often you reach during the day. You reach for a mug, a pan, a sweater, a phone, a grandchild, a door handle, a light switch. Every reach asks your balance system a question. Can you stay steady while the body moves? The clock reach helps your body answer yes. Stand behind a chair and lightly hold it with your right hand. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a clock face. Keep most of your weight on your right leg and slowly tap your left foot forward to 12 o'clock. Bring it back. Then tap out to 9 o'clock on the side. Bring it back. Then reach back to 7 o'clock behind you and slightly out. Bring it back again. That makes 1 round. Do 3 rounds on that side. Then switch hands and switch legs. Use the other leg to reach toward 12, 3, and 5 o'clock. Keep the standing knee soft, not locked, and your chest tall. This one is gold because it builds single leg control, hip strength, and ankle stability all at once. Finally, there is the sit to stand without using your hands, and this one catches many people by surprise. Getting up from a chair is one of the most common danger zones for older adults, yet almost nobody practices it on purpose. That is wild when you think about how many times a day you sit and stand. This move strengthens the legs and challenges balance at the same time, which makes it one of the most useful exercises in this entire routine. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy chair with your feet flat and about hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest so you are not tempted to push with your hands. Lean your upper body slightly forward. Think nose over toes, then press through your heels and stand up slowly. Once you are fully upright, pause for 2 seconds. Then lower yourself back down with control. Do not flop. Do not crash. Own the whole movement from start to finish. That is 1 rep. Begin with 8 reps. If it is too hard at first, that is okay. Put your hands lightly on your thighs for help and use less help over time. The goal is smooth, controlled standing and sitting without arm support. Now here's the trick that makes all of this far more realistic and far easier to stick with. Do not think of these as long workouts. Think of them as balanced snacks. Tiny bites of practice spread through your day. 30 seconds here, 1 minute there, the toe lean while coffee brews, weight shifts during a commercial break, standing marches while lunch heats up, sit to stands before you sit down to eat, little pieces, real life pieces. That approach works beautifully because your nervous system learns from frequent reminders. Short practice done often can be more powerful than one long, miserable session that leaves you tired and bored. And let me be clear, you do not need to start all 6 exercises on day 1. Please do not do that to yourself. It is too much, too soon, and it is one of the fastest ways to quit. Start with the toe lean and the side-to-side shifts. Let those become familiar. Let them feel less shaky. Give your body a few days, maybe a week or 2. Then add the heel to toe walk, then the marches, then the clock reaches, then the sit to stands. 1 new move each week is a smart pace for many people, but go by what your body can handle. After about 6 weeks, you can have a complete routine that takes under 10 minutes total and leaves you feeling stronger, steadier, and far more sure of yourself on your feet. And here is something many people miss. Do not skip these exercises on the days when you feel great. Those are the days that fool people. You feel good, so you think you can skip it. But those are exactly the days when practice helps lock the pattern in deeper. Every rep is like putting money in the bank. You are building a reflex your body can spend later in the split second when you trip, slip, or lose your footing. You are doing the work now so your body does not panic later. That is the bigger purpose here. This is not only about avoiding a fall, it is about protecting your freedom. It is about walking through your house without fear humming in the background. It is about stepping outside with more trust in yourself. It is about keeping your life wide instead of letting fear shrink it down room by room. Here is one more truth many people need to hear. The goal is not perfection. The goal is not to become some acrobat in your living room. The goal is not to move without ever wobbling again. The goal is to become more recoverable, more responsive, more steady when life gets messy, because life will get messy. A phone will ring while you are carrying laundry. A dog will zip past your legs. A grandchild will leave a toy in the hallway. A bag will pull you to one side. A step will come sooner than you thought. Real balance is not about looking elegant. Real balance is about having enough strength, awareness, and snap in the system to catch yourself when the day throws a curveball. That is why these exercises matter so much. They are not flashy, but they are ferocious in what they train. They teach your body to notice. They teach your body to react. They teach your body to trust the floor again instead of fearing it. If you feel silly doing these little moves, hear me on this. There is nothing silly about protecting your bones, your brain, your freedom, or your future. There is nothing silly about refusing to let one bad fall hijack the life you worked hard to build. A lot of people wait until after a fall to get serious. They wait until the injury, the rehab, and the fear show up at the door. Please do not wait for that rude awakening if you can help it. Start while you still can move. Start while you still can learn. Start before the next near miss becomes a full-blown disaster. And if you have already fallen before, let this be your comeback instead of your surrender. Another thing I want you to remember is that your brain is always keeping score. Every time you practice these moves in a safe setting, your brain collects evidence that says, I can do this, I can control this, I can recover. That matters. Fear of falling is not just an emotion. It changes behavior. It makes people stiffen up. It makes steps shorter. It makes turning slower and shakier. It makes people avoid movement, and that lack of movement breeds even more weakness. It becomes a nasty little cycle. Fear leads to less movement. Less movement leads to more weakness. More weakness leads to more fear. These exercises help break that cycle in both directions. They strengthen the body and calm the mind because they prove, rep by rep, that you are not helpless. You are trainable. You are adaptable. You are still capable of improving. And if one exercise feels easy while another feels maddening, that is normal. In fact, that is useful. The hard one is often the exact place where your body needs the lesson most. So do not take wobbling as failure. Wobbling is information. Wobbling is your body saying, this system needs practice right here. As long as you are safe, that little shake is not your enemy. It is part of the learning. What matters is that you keep the challenge small enough to stay in control and consistent enough to make progress. I also want to say a word about speed because people get this wrong all the time. Fast is not better here. Faster is not stronger if it turns everything sloppy. Slow and sharp beats rushed and reckless. When you move slowly with attention, your brain can actually map what is happening. Your feet learn where pressure shifts. Your ankles learn how to correct. Your hips learn how to support. Your core learns when to switch on. That is why I keep telling you to move with control. Control is where the gold is. Control is what carries over into real life. Another sneaky secret is that your environment can either help this process or sabotage it. So take a hard look at the places where you move every day. Loose rugs, poor lighting, clutter, slick mats, bad shoes, cords, stairs, and pets underfoot may seem small until one catches you at the wrong second. Training your balance is powerful, but making your home less treacherous is powerful too. Do both. That is not fear. That is strategy. And while we are being honest, please do not compare yourself to somebody else in the comments, your neighbor down the street, or the person you used to be 10 years ago. Comparison can poison progress. Your job is not to win a contest. Your job is to become a little steadier than you were last week. Maybe today you need both hands on the chair. Fine. Maybe next week you only need one. Fantastic. Maybe your heel-to-toe walk is messy at first. Who cares? Messy practice still counts. You are building something under the surface even before it looks smooth on the outside. That is how real progress usually works. It is quiet before it is obvious. And let me paint a picture of what success can actually look like because I do not want this to stay abstract. Success might mean standing up from the sofa without that extra grunt and shove. It might mean carrying a plate to the table without feeling tippy. It might mean walking to the mailbox without that low buzz of worry in your chest. It might mean getting out of bed at night and feeling less likely to grab every wall on the way to the bathroom. It might mean turning around in the kitchen without feeling like the room just betrayed you. Those are not tiny wins. Those are quality of life wins. Those are dignity wins. Those are independence wins. This is also why consistency matters more than motivation. Motivation is moody. It shows up when it wants and disappears when the weather changes, when you sleep badly, or when the day gets busy. Consistency is the real hero. Consistency says, I will do a little anyway. I will do one round. I will do 30 seconds. I will do the simple version instead of doing nothing. And that is enough. Tiny, honest effort done again and again can beat heroic effort that happens once and vanishes. So on the days when you are tired, do less if you need to, but try not to do nothing. Keep the thread alive. Keep sending the signal. Keep telling your body, we are still working on this. We are still reclaiming this. And one last thing before we move on. Celebrate the signs that your body is waking up. The first time you catch yourself before grabbing the wall, the first time your marches feel lighter, the first time you turn around without that ugly lurch, the first time you stand from a chair and it feels smooth instead of clumsy. Those moments matter. Notice them. They are proof. They are your body sending you a message back that says, yes, I remember. Yes, I am adapting. Yes, this is working. But balance is only half the story. The other half is leg strength. And I want to be blunt here because this part matters. If your legs are weak, your chance of falling shoots up. Weak legs mean slower reactions when you stumble. They mean less force to push yourself back into line. They mean less control in the hips and knees every time you stand, walk, turn, or step over something. Over time, weakness steals confidence in a quiet, sneaky way. You start moving less. You trust your body less. Your posture changes. Your world gets smaller. Think about all the daily actions that demand leg strength. Rising from the couch, climbing stairs, crossing a parking lot, catching yourself after a misstep. None of that is optional in normal life. Your legs have to show up, and they have to show up fast. The scary part is that leg strength can fade quickly with age, especially when sitting becomes the default. The exciting part is that strength can come back. Your legs are not done just because you got older. Whether you are 70, 75, 80, or far beyond, your muscles can still respond. They are waiting for a clear signal, and simple home exercises can provide it. Even modest gains in strength can make a huge difference in balance, confidence, and fall risk. That is why I also put together a separate video focused entirely on leg strengthening for adults over 70. The exercises are safe, simple, and beginner-friendly. No gym machines, no complicated setup, just practical movements you can do at home. That video is on your screen now, and I strongly suggest you click it next so you can build the second half of your fall prevention plan. If this video gave you value, drop a 1 in the comments. If it did not, drop a 0 and tell me what you wanted more of. Your feedback helps more than you know. Please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more simple, powerful tips to help you stay strong, steady, and independent. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your body, trust that it can improve, and keep fighting for the kind of life that lets you move on your own terms.